Alright, so first video recap. Basically, this whole thing is to go over what to practice this week, how to practice it, things like that. Sometimes I'll think of something after a lesson, or even like when I'm making one of these things, to think of something new, something that might be helpful. So, always appreciate it when you watch these things. Um, so yeah, it's just another tool to help you progress and whatnot. So basically, starting off with some basic stuff. So one of the things we talked about. So we're using a 4/4 time signature to start off. We're going to be in a 4/4 time signature for quite a while. It's the most basic. I would say it is the most basic time signature. Most of what you listen to is in a 4/4 time signature. So just so you know, here's one of those things we didn't get into during the lesson, but we're going to get into it now. So you have a top number and a bottom number. The top number can be anything. So when you're putting a time signature together, reading a time signature, whatever, the top number can be anything. Doesn't matter. It can be 1,860,493. Okay, so no decimals. That's a rule. There's no decimal after that. But, anyway, good luck finding a number like that, though. Stupid over a million. But technically you could. The bottom number, that's telling you the value of the beat. So, in other words, as it shows on the screen there, the 4 equals a quarter note. So this is telling you that 4 quarter notes fill up the bar or the measure. So just like over here, you can clearly see that. 1, 2, 3, 4 quarter notes to fill that up. And a quarter note gets the value of 1 beat. So every time that metronome clicks for a 4/4 time signature, you hit a quarter note there. So other time signatures that are somewhat popular, like 3/4, that would mean it takes 3 quarter notes to fill up the bar, and a quarter note gets the value of 1 beat. A 6/8 time signature is another one. That means it takes 6/8 notes to fill up the bar. Now, technically, mathematically speaking, a 3/4 and a 6/8 equal the same thing. However, in a 6/8 time signature, an 8th note gets the value of the beat. So we'll get into that when it's more appropriate. But I just want to give a couple examples there so you can understand this more fully. So basically, you can have only a specific kind of number underneath here. You can have a 1, which represents a whole note. You can have a 2, that represents a half note. And a 4, like that, represents a quarter note. You can have an 8 underneath, like I mentioned with the 6/8 time signature. The 8 represents an 8th note. So a 16 can be underneath to represent a 16th note, and you can have a 32 under there to represent a 32nd, and so on. So you're probably not going to come across too many 16s on the bottom, or 32, or 64, or anything like that. So anyway, that's just some examples, so you can hopefully understand the time signature, but it's telling you a little bit better. So, 4 notes, or 4 beats to fill up the bar. We worked with some whole notes, half notes, quarter notes today. So, the open circle is a whole note. That lasts 4 beats. So a whole note is always going to last the length of 4 quarter notes. It can't be anything else. It has to be that. So, the half note, you got the open circle plus that vertical line, which is a stem. So when you add a stem to the whole note symbol, you get a half note. That lasts 2 quarter notes. And it will always last the same value as 2 quarter notes. So in this case, because we have a quarter note equaling a beat, this will last 2 beats. Whole note will last 4 beats in this time signature. The half note will last 2 beats. And then when you fill in that circle, you got the quarter note that lasts 1 beat. So, what I want you to do when you're practicing this stuff, just like you did today, metronome, you're going to start it at 60 beats a minute. I want you to tap your foot every single time that metronome clicks. Very important. This is going to help tremendously when it comes to playing more and more difficult things. So, because you want to be able to follow that beat. You want to be able to follow whatever is leading the beat, whether it's a metronome, a drummer, a backing track, you're following a song. You absolutely need to be able to follow along with where that downbeat is. It's very, very important in order to be able to play as best you can. So yes, metronome starting at 60, tapping your foot as you go, and counting out loud and proud. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this way you build the habit of counting as you play. Because when we get to stuff like 8th notes, 16th notes, triplets, so on, you're going to be saying a lot of things as you play. So basically you're going to be saying the rhythm that you play. One of the most important lessons I was ever taught is if you can't say it, you can't play it. At first it seemed weird to me, but it's true. When I started saying what it was I was trying to play, I understood the rhythm better. I understood what I was supposed to do more. And then I could magically just start playing those things. Okay? So what I want you to do with all 3 of these exercises, every day you practice. So typically with metronome work, what I want people to do is you're going to go up by 5 beat per minute increments. But since this stuff is pretty basic, it'll be somewhat simple by the time you're done getting used to everything. Go ahead and do increments of 10. So basically you're going to play, like, go exercise number 1. You play it correctly at 60 beats a minute, then bump it up to 70. You don't need to play it multiple times. As soon as you play it correctly one time at 60 beats a minute, bump it up to 70, do it again. Go to 80, do it again. So I want you to try going up to 120, okay? And do one exercise at a time. And every day that you practice, I want you to start at 60. So you're going to build that habit starting at 60 and building up from there. Remember to lay back on the beat. Don't anticipate the beat. Think about playing a split second after the beat. This will help you stay more in time with what's going on. Okay? So I think that covers like foundation stuff there. So for demonstration purposes in this video, I'm going to play at 60, 90, and 120. Again, I want you to play 60, 70, 80, 90, and so on, up to 120 each day. And then you have a couple options here. So, one option, which most people do, and anyway, I had a thought and then I forget it. One option most people do is at the beginning of the lesson, they'll demonstrate what they worked on. What people are beginning to do more and more and more, as I keep suggesting it, is they will make a video demonstrating things and send that to me like the day of or the day before the lesson. And this way there's no extra pressure to perform under. So basically, I do need to see how all these are performed at 60 beats a minute and 120 beats a minute. So you can do that at the beginning of the next lesson, or you can make a video of both of those speeds for all 3 exercises and send me the videos, the day of or the day before the lesson. Either way works for me. Okay, I think that covers every preliminary thing. Here we go with some demo speeds. Again, 60, 90, and 120 is what I will be playing at. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 120. 1, 2. A 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. On to 2. Same 3 speeds. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now, the more challenging one. Now, earlier, obviously earlier today, when you asked if you could play the rhythm thing by just doing one chord, I really liked that. That's something I like to talk to people about, is simplifying things as much as needed in order to have the progress start taking off. So yeah, doing stuff like that, if you feel that's helpful for you, totally do that. That's a really good idea. Simplify as much as you need to, such as like playing 2 bars at a time, or even just working on 1 bar at a time for difficult things. Very acceptable, very encouraged. Always simplify as much as needed in order to get that progress going, okay? So, that's very cool to hear. Alright, same 3 speeds. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. A 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Done. I'm used to saying done at the end instead of saying 1, 2, 3, 4. Eventually, we're going to be doing stuff with repeat cymbals and whatnot, and then when you hit that last chord, you don't. Eventually, when you hit that last chord, no need to hold out for all 4 beats. So there we go. There's lesson number 1 in the books, and then I'd imagine next time will go much smoother now that we have an extra option in case the laptop connection is not being friendly. But glad you were able to figure something out there, so we could get some stuff done. Again, progress will be determined on how well you pick things up. Okay, so this stuff is fairly basic. Things will become more complicated, more interesting as we progress. I just want to make sure that you understand these fundamentals, can read them and understand them, play them well. So this way, you will have a much easier time, far easier time when we do the more difficult things. Okay, so I want to have you just slightly out of your comfort zone all the time, not way out of your comfort zone, Just a little bit. This way you keep making progress. Keep making progress. Keep making progress. Okay. There we go. First video recap was done. If you have any questions whatsoever before next week, please let me know. Hopefully things go well for you on the road. And I'll see you in a week.